You like knowing that you are source energy in physical body? Especially that. You look good. In your individual clumps, believing that you are individual, foolish ones that you are. But you are at your best when you are integrated with the whole that is you, yes? And you are at your worst when you are not. And you can tell the difference because when you're at your worst, you are at your worst, yes? And when you are at your best, you are at your best. We are eager to talk with you about whatever it is that you're wanting to talk about. We were visiting with Tracy and Esther last evening. And they were thinking about you coming. And we were thinking about you coming. And we were all eager about what you are bringing to this forum. Because what you are living, what you are wanting, is what summons that which is us. In other words, we don't come with a curriculum. Law of Attraction 101. We come in response to that which you are about. And it is exhilarating to feel that which you are about. Leading edge creators out here on the leading edge. Do you know that? Can you feel the leading edgeness of where you are? Can you feel the power of the desire that is within you to understand? And while often you think of it as a sort of conscious thing, in other words, I want to know things. I want to understand things. I want to make my life work. I want to be a deliberate creator. We want you to feel the leading edgeness is the best way of saying it, but we want you to feel how all that is focused out here with you. Physical beings have it backwards. You keep thinking that you're here figuring things out, and of course you are. But you think you're here figuring things out, jumping through hoops, learning how to get it right so that you can reemerge into non-physical and get good marks on the chart. Or so that you can reemerge into non-physical and then do whatever weird stuff they do in non-physical. And we want you to feel that what non-physical is doing is what you're doing right here, out here on the leading edge. In other words, all that is culminating, and culminating only means present tense evolution. It doesn't mean ending, and it certainly doesn't mean terminating. All that is focused here with you, out here on the leading edge. Do you get it? That the evolution of the species and the evolution of thought and the evolution of all that is happening out here. It's not happening somewhere else. It's happening out here. So when you are together with friends and having a wonderful time, and you are exhilarated and uplifting one another, feeling uplifted yourself, laughing, feeling tuned in, tapped in, turned on, that's not just you hanging out with your friends. That's the all that is part of you. That's your inner being. That's the source within you, focused in that moment. That's why you are so funny. That's why your thoughts are flowing so well. That's why you feel such exhilaration. That's why life feels so good in that moment. That's why you love that one and that one and that one and that one so much. When you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on, that's when you are allowing all that you are to be present in this leading edge moment. And this is the thing that we most want you to hear. We want you to begin to understand that there is no separation between that which is non-physical, between that which is us and that which is you, other than the vibrational variance that you introduce as you are fussing and worrying about one thing and another. You're pretty good at that fussing and worrying part. And we certainly understand why. You came into this contrasting environment because you wanted to focus your desire into sharper focus. And when you focus your desire into sharper focus, source flows right with it. That's why desire feels so delicious. But when you doubt that which you are wanting, or when you get crossways of it in some way, then you pinch yourself off from the fullness of it, and that's when you feel a diminished experience. So if there is anything that we want to accomplish as we are chewing together today, it is the awareness that all that is flowing here, right here. And, you feel it more than almost anyone on the planet, especially those who have been coming for a while, who have been listening to the recordings for a while. You get it. You can feel the fullness when we all get tuned in together, can't you? Esther has commented on many occasions that it is so much fun to feel Abraham out there on a new thought. She knows it's new. She knows she's never heard it before. She knows she's never understood it before. She knows it's never been this big before. She knows that it is happening in this moment as a leading edge, co-creating an experience with those like you who have gathered. And all of you are right there with it. Yahooing at the right moments, feeling exhilaration at the right moments. You're right there because it's a co-creative dance where we are all tuned in and we are on this leading edge together. And it's that thought, those moments that many of you recognized even as we were speaking about it here. Those are the moments that let you understand fully what we just said to you about leading edge and source all being right here. Religions have been trying to sort out what is non-physical for a very long time, and they have done a terrible job of it. A terrible job of it because they continue to speak of the separation. They continue to speak of loss in death when there couldn't be anything that is further from the truth. They continue to speak of separation. They continue to feel it as they put themselves as mere mortals. Imagine that. Mere lousy, crummy mortals. Mere mortals, mere dysfunctional. They don't usually use the word dysfunctional. They usually use words more like unworthy or sinning. Mere, crummy, rascally mortals who are here in order to suffer yourself into worthiness later. And we say, how does that work? How do you do that? And so we want you to feel the fullness of all that you are. Not just the fullness of all that you are, the fullness of all that we are. And not just the fullness of all that we are, the fullness of all that is, the evolution of consciousness. Do you realize how much thought must go in to holding a time-space reality into the consistency that this time-space reality is held? You think you're good when you create a computer contraption, or you think you're good when you make a sculpture or a painting. And we think you're good too. But imagine an Earth spinning in its orbit in perfect proximity to other planets. Imagine the evolution of all of this. And understand, it wasn't done a long time ago and now it's petering out. How silly is that? It is becoming. It is in the state of constant becoming. And you are eternal parts of it. Playing your physical role right now, playing your non-physical role at times, but you are eternally a part of this evolution of consciousness, this evolution of well-being. It is exhilarating for us to visit with you because we know that unlike the majority of the people on the planet, you are getting this. You are understanding, you're beginning to feel your part in all of this. You are understanding that you are source energy in physical bodies. And we're not giving this to you because we want to give you some lofty assignment that you need to get out and make the world a better place. You can't help it. And we don't want to make you know that you can't help it so that you get lazy, because you can help it, but you can't help it, but you can help it, but you can't help it, but you can help it. In other words, what you really are about is making your world, which means your now, which means your moment, which means your emotion, right here and now, as good as you can make it. In other words, that's what deliberate creation is being present in the moment. And you know what being present in the moment means? Not just showing up, we're glad you did. But not just showing up, we're glad you did. Not just showing up, we're really glad you did. Not just showing up, but showing up with all that you are. Showing up as the clear-minded, source energy, loving, appreciative, flowing being that you are. Because you are so much more than these physical bodies. So much more than these physical bodies. You are consciousness that has the opportunity, the glorious opportunity of focusing in this leading edge time-space reality through this personality that you know as you, in conjunctions with other personalities, but even with all of the personalities on the planet flowing together. If they were all in this room, and many of them are, there are thousands of you out there, we're glad you're here too. As you are here, focused in this time-space reality here and now, it's the larger part of you that is doing the majority of the focusing. This is the thing that we want to really present in a way that you can really feel it. We want you to feel the perfection of the planet, the perfection of even the fact that this stuff holds together. It holds together pretty good. It holds together pretty good. We want to tell you why it is. It's focused into this consistent pattern of what you call physical manifested reality. It's consciousness that is concentrated long enough, generation after generation, eon after eon, non-physical energy after non-physical energy, that this feels real because it is. This is the leading edge. And we want to convince you, we get louder as we try that, we want to convince you that the reason that this time-space reality has the consistency that it does, unlike your dream state. Esther was all over the planet last night visiting with all kinds of different people. It was a really interesting night, but it wasn't like this. Your dream state isn't like this because your dream state is not manifested to the degree that this is. So when we say you create your own reality, we're talking about you. Yes, we are. We're talking about the things you're thinking right here and now. We're talking about the things that you speak of with your lovers and with your friends. We're talking about the things you do. We're talking about the focus of you. But we're also talking, we're really talking talking about the non-physical part of you who has been thinking long before this physical brain of you was thinking, that is holding all of this together. And what you are about here and now is finding new things to think about to merge with what has already come to be known from non-physical. Are you feeling that? In other words, non-physical knows the power of love and the power of appreciation and never ever deviates from it. You do it all the time. You deviate from it all the time, but it doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It means you're out there on the leading edge, on the raw and ragged edge, on the raw and bleeding edge. So here you are out here on this leading, bleeding edge, and in this experience of contrast, you are arriving at new things that you would like to consider, but you never consider anything that we all don't just rush in around and revel in the newness of what you have discovered. And as we revel in the newness of what you've discovered, the evolution of all of us moves forward, and as you know, you can come with us or not, we just went. So your work here is to discover new things to present as the leading edge, and then to hopefully, and we mean that in the nicest way, to hopefully keep up with what you have decided is the new, at least for you, leading edge conversation. And that's why we joyfully come to play with you. Because here you articulate your new leading edge inquiry. Here you articulate what's on your mind. And we want to impart to you in such a powerful way that you will always know it, that whatever is on your mind matters very, 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 very much. Because you are out here sifting and sorting on this leading edge. And we are happy to play with you. Sometimes you sort it out, you point it out, you ask for it, and we go right there and wait for you to catch up with your own desire. Such an interesting thing. You pick it, we love it, we go there, we revel in it, we live it, we be it, we are it, and you don't come. Because you're so busy justifying why you're not going there. It's hard. It hurts. I don't like it. Somebody should call somebody. You've been listening to us for a while, and you get it, that your emotions are your indicator of how blended you are with that source energy or not. But still, it's easy to let your emotions run away with you. And we want to say that it's not your emotions that are running away with you. It's the specifics of the unwanted.